How we doing, Red Sox Nation? The Red Sox celebrate a happy Easter, pounding out 17 hits in a come-from-behind victory today at the Fens. Woo! Will Patriots Day be as exciting? We can only hope so. This is Red Sox Wrap 360.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Believer! Believer!
Oh,
Believer! Get it. I'm a believer already. Ben,
Yeah.
Faye, I am.
Nice.
I am. I'm already hooked into this team. Even after a 4-3 week, I'm just excited. I'm just excited about baseball. I know we got other teams in Boston in various postseasons. Obviously, throw your sport behind them, but don't lose sight of this Red Sox team.
It's a great time of year. It's a great time of year when you have two Boston teams in the playoffs, one Boston team getting the season started, and one Boston team who's just kind of hanging out, shining up their rings.
That's it. That's it. Oh, man. Alongside Ben Faye, I am Mike Conley. This is another edition of Red Sox Wrap 360, our weekly rudderless discussion on all things Red Sox. Ben, why don't you tell the folks, how to get in touch with you and how to get in touch with us
Yeah,
tonight.
absolutely. You can get me on Twitter at BennyFrickinJam. We also have the beautiful Laura sitting on the couch. She is going to be monitoring the YouTube chat. So if you have any questions or feedback for us, you can let us know either one of those ways, and we'll get to it real time feedback.
Yes. Steer our rudderless discussion in a different direction. I did want to first give a shout out to somebody listened to us on YouTube last week, return listener from last year, Alex Pena Jr. What's up, Alex? He was asking us for some fantasy tips, so maybe let that brew a little bit.
Okay.
And at the end of the program, we'll throw out some fantasy guys for him. My team is doing okay out of the gates, so I'm not a bad guy to ask. I'm in NL League. I don't know. We'll throw some AL guys out there because it's an AL show. But wicked exciting win today, 7-5, coming back. We always play tough games versus the Rays. I was almost going to call them the Devil Rays. I think after today. Well, today wasn't a one-run game, but something like 7 out of their last 12 meetings with Tampa has been a one-run game. And Tampa, this team is like they should be the Tampa Bay Ron Kittles because they either hit a home run or they K, which was evidenced today in Mr. Pomeranz getting 10 Ks in 4 1/3 innings.
Yeah,
crazy.
that was a really odd outing for Pomeranz. 10 Ks, one shy of his career high. And, he threw 100 pitches in 4 1/3 innings and, still gave up 4 runs. So, 5 runs, excuse me. So, kind of a weird outing for Pomeranz there. One thing that Mama Frickin' Faye wanted to let me know was that he should have had 2 Ks a lot earlier on in that game had the umpires been calling strikes consistently throughout the game. And then after that, the strike zone kind of jumped all over the place. So maybe we'll chalk up a little bit of that inconsistency to the umpires. But
I love that.
Yeah.
Happy Easter, Mama Frickin' Faye.
That's right.
Way to be watching the games and scrutinizing those men in blue because they need it. The guy we had the other day, I think it was it when Sale was pitching? He was like very generous on that outside corner. I don't think it was the Sale game. Might have been the game before that. Might have been the Erod game. Let's just talk a little bit about today's game because it's this team is starting to get healthy. After the flu and all this stuff, and they're starting to get that identity back. And everybody say, "Oh, you lose that big bat in the lineup," but the mantra of this team for the past few seasons has been keep that line moving, and that was in no better display than it was today with the Sox to come behind 7-5 victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And a couple guys stuck out to me in our lineup today that really pulled through in big situations. One, Panda getting the big getting the big home run in a key spot there when we needed him to. He was up in that position a couple times earlier this week and actually ended up grounding out a couple times. So good thing that he pulled through there. Actually, and I don't know if this is still true, but before today, the team leader in RBIs, Mr. Panda.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's not hitting his weight, which is ample. But, the guy just seems to get, some clutch hits. I mean, that Detroit homer and, that hit today.
Yep.
He's starting to, maybe come back into the which is good because who also went deep today? The mayor of Ding Dong City. And he is off to a good start.
Hey, happy birthday to Mr. Mayor Ding Dong City as well.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh, man, I miss him. I miss him. We wish you the best, Trav. I mean, this would be another thing if Tyler Thornburg was in the lineup throwing BBs, every eighth inning, but that is not the case. But, one thing that I was really encouraged by this week, and the thing I've been nervous about, and, I've said on this program many times, is that seventh and eighth inning, bridge to Kimbrel. And even Kimbrel, but he had 3 saves this week, I think. The last 2 were pretty much boom, 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 pretty much. But there's always some excitement there.
Yeah.
And but now we have guys emerging. I mean, Kelly touched 100 on the gun today.
Got the win.
Matt, he's
Extending
continuing
the
his streak.
streak.
Oh,
That's
boy.
right.
Oh, boy. How many is it now?
I think that makes like 14 straight wins
Wow.
or something,
This guy's
dating
not
back to
gonna lose again.
2015.
Vulture Joe.
Crazy.
And Matt Bonds, I know he walked a couple guys yesterday, but then I think he got a double play to get out of it,
Yep.
right? Kelly got a double play today to get out of a jam too.
Yeah.
It was it's great to see those guys coming in and doing that. And so this could only make it when mid-season we get the Thornburgs and the Carson Smiths back. I mean, we could have a very formidable bullpen.
Yeah, Matt Barnes, this was a guy where, we had talked about it at the beginning of the season where we were a little unsure of, how this bullpen was going to hold up. Matt Barnes, I don't think we expected him to be this good, but he hasn't let in a run yet, so he's definitely stepped up big time for us.
And this guy's a former first-round pick, and I'm sure that there was a few years there where he's was in the bullpen that he's like, when am I going to get an opportunity to start for this team? And now it just seems like he's embracing his role and really just killing it.
Yeah.
So what a piece in that pen. And we were waiting for somebody to emerge, and, he definitely has. So we're pumped about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other guy that stuck out was your boy, Christian Vasquez. Went 3 for 4 today. He's batting .667 the last time I checked.
Not to mention, they also should have challenged that play at second base because that dude was out.
That was close, yeah. And a big spot, too, because with no outs, I think you really want to get that out there. And you're only up by 1.
And it's the tying run. And it's like the 7th or 8th inning. He had a challenge left. Very shocking. He did not challenge that.
Remy and TC seem to think that, or Remy and Dave O'Brien seem to think that he was safe, but I don't know. The way that
Remy,
I saw it, it looked
was
like
almost
he was out.
like Remy, because Remy was like, we got to challenge that. And then almost Remy caught himself like, I'm already down to, 120 games a season. I don't want to get down below 100. I better not question, the brain trust. I mean, they own the friggin' station,
true.
And he was like, so he started to backpedal. It's like,
I didn't think about that.
I know you're a fan of the show. Don't do it, buddy. Just let us know, okay? Call a spade a spade. Jeez Louise.
But we were talking about this last week where, we have a couple good starters in our catchers. Christian Vasquez, he's like a young modern day Sandy Leon, man.
I'll tell you. It's time for Blake Swihart to start taking grounders at third, I think.
So some updates on Blake. He had a little bit of an injury scare there. X-rays came back clean on the finger, so
that's good.
So it shouldn't be too bad there.
I mean, because he could actually. We like his bat. So, I mean, if Hanley's out for any length of time, which doesn't sound like he was good, but down the line, if, Hanley comes back and that shoulder gets well enough for him to play first.
Right.
If we get in a situation where Moreland goes down or Hanley goes down, you can maybe bring up Swihart to get some at-bats up there.
There's a lot of flexibility there for sure.
I mean, because that's what, if he's ever going to get trade value again, we're going to have to, show people he can hit on the major league level. It's either that or they deal like Sandy Leon, and we come up. But
yeah, that's the I know it's tough. It's
It
tough
is
because
tough.
they're gonna trade somebody, right? I mean, like if
well,
you can't,
I mean,
I don't
sooner
know.
or later. I mean, how longer can you look this kid in the face and be like, "You're a AAA again this year, Swihart"? Like, I mean, you got to eventually like trade him and allow him to, spread his wings. Trade him to the Padres or the Cubs, or
And you can't just have like three starting catchers like legit on your roster,
No,
right? You're not
no.
getting enough value for that. So
yeah, unless that third guy can also play, a little first, and,
yeah.
but
Yep.
little outfield. But they got away from doing that at the end of the year, playing him out of position. They're like, catch it. So that's why I'm just like throwing it out there, because imagine if they get wishy-washy, just to get this kid's bat to the majors, it would just be funny. So
you mentioned Hanley kind of came up a little gimpy,
Right.
getting into second. I think he rounded second, came back. Sounded like it was just a cramp issue, so they're not thinking it's anything serious. But
yeah, if it's a cramp, he
We'll see.
should be back in there tomorrow.
Yeah.
In this Patriots Day early start tomorrow.
did you see that he was rocking the bunny whiskers today?
I did.
That was cute.
And a multiple hit game with the bunny whiskers. You got to think about keeping them on there.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you like continue a hit streak like with bunny whiskers, I mean, you keep it going. But maybe we'll call it multiple hits. If he comes back with bunny whiskers and he gets multiple hits tomorrow, they got to be on there Tuesday.
Yeah.
No question.
Okay.
Speaking of little Red Sox streaks, your boy Mitch Moreland goes ahead this week and doubles in 7 straight games. Already sets himself a Red Sox record. He hasn't been in the uniform 3 weeks. You were running him out of town.
Old Mitchie Two Bags.
Oh, Mitchie Two Bags. Oh, man. You wanted to run the guy out of town. He was going to be wearing a Paw Sox uniform. We were going to have Swihart up, trying to dig out, dirt balls from Panda over there at first. But luckily enough, they stuck with him past 1 for 13.
Yesterday, he went a triple shy of the cycle. You want to hear the exit velocity on that home run he hit?
Do I?
113 miles an hour.
What?
Yeah.
That's a bomb.
431 feet. He smoked it.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is going to be a Mitch Moreland chair up there in the right field bleachers. About 15 rows lower than Ted Williams.
Yeah. He crushed it. So, yeah, good for him. I mean, look, we needed him. Apparently Hanley doesn't want to play first base, so it's Moreland's.
He sure
It's
does.
Moreland's role now.
Yeah. Another guy who maybe we don't give enough props on the program, but I just wanted to give him a shout out because this guy is easily a top 90 outfielder in the league, so could be starting for a lot of teams in this league. And we have the luxury of being able to bring him as like a fourth outfielder, Chris Young.
Yeah.
So now that Bradley's out there, we can just plug this guy in, and it's like start a production. And he's just. I mean, he rakes versus lefties, and he battles versus righties. He's not overmatched in there at all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
2 for 4 today. He's batting 289. It's solid. I mean, that's a great guy to plug into your 8 spot.
I mean, it could be a situation down the line because you know how Jackie Bradley, if the last 2 years are any indication, there's like 6-week frame where he stops hitting, and in that maybe you do hit him, you sit him versus some lefties, and have Benintendi play a little center, but I don't know if they want to bounce Benintendi around or anything like. Plus that Killer Bees outfield that I'm always, lauding over is it's one of those things where you don't know how much you love it until it's gone. It's like one of those old girlfriends, but it's like Benintendi today on that ball to center field in the first inning.
Yeah.
Jackie Bradley comes down with that. And it's like you think, oh yeah, no big deal, but that led to like 2 runs, And Pomeranz kind of settled down after that a little bit. I've been impressed with Pomeranz in the early going. That Baltimore start he had earlier this week was probably his best start in the Red Sox uniform. He was lights out in that, and there were times today, like after that first inning, where he looked like that lights out guy. So my expectations of him have been exceeded to this point.
Yeah.
And granted they were relatively low. I kind of was taking a wait and see approach with the back end of that rotation with Erod, seeing how Stephen Wright would come back, and and with Pomerantz as well. I was so scared that Pomerantz is going to go down with injury, but knock wood.
Yeah.
He's looked good so far. Wright did get shelled, though, the other day by Baltimore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lots of homers.
That's the thing with those knuckleballs.
Yeah,
You know?
and he said, he's like, man, once I let a couple bad pitches go, and, after one of them went over the fence, he just lost all confidence in the knuckleball, and it just started. I mean, once you're leaving those knuckleballs right over the plate, I mean, guys just sit back and unload on them,
He might want to keep that in the old Xander Bogaerts keep it to yourself department there.
Yeah,
I was
maybe.
just like, I just lost all confidence.
Yeah.
So that Pittsburgh game kind of sandwiched the makeup in the middle of the week there. That was nice. We capped off that sweep. Finally got that sweep to start the season versus
Yep.
Pittsburgh.
Yep.
It's good to see. Baltimore, and just to talk a little bit about the AL East in general right now, with Toronto losing today, they got worked.
Mm-hmm.
They're 2-10, worst record in baseball. And I think a lot of people, myself included, thought that was going to be the team in the AL East that the Red Sox were going to be battling with.
Yep. Yep.
So
Them and the O's, right?
them and the O's, yeah. But I was kind of thinking it was going to be like, Red Sox and Blue Jays neck and neck for first, and then kind of O's and Yanks maybe battling it out for like the third spot, but in the division. But I mean, Baltimore is like, I know Showalter made that brick in the playoffs last year, but he is really a good manager. He gets the most out of his clubs, and they're just somehow it seems like every year since he's been there, it's like, oh, they can hit, but they have no pitching, and he gets it out of the pitching, gets enough to get it done, and he has that sick bullpen. Although Britton's hurt and got put on the DL today, so we'll see about that. Who else was impressive this week?
Well, I mean, you kind of just skipped right over yesterday. We
what I do.
We
That's what
had
I do.
Sale go for 12 Ks,
Rudderless.
3 hits, 7 innings pitched. He has more strikeouts
Rudderless.
in his 150 starts than any other pitcher in the history of baseball.
Whew! Run that back. I was making hand motions.
The most strikeouts in his first 150 starts, in his last 150 starts, than any pitcher in MLB history. He's throwing mad strikeouts, guys. Lots of strikeouts for this guy.
If anybody else didn't understand that stat, hit us up on the YouTube page, and you can hit us up with anything else. In his last 150 starts,
Yes.
he's got the most strikeouts in those.
Than any other pitcher has had
in that time frame.
starts.
Gotcha.
So his last 150 starts have been the most strikeouts out of anybody
Interesting.
ever.
Interesting. And
I mean, that's like they're putting his name up there with Pedro right now. And I know that's like a little crazy to think, but
I mean,
this guy is off to a phenomenal start.
I hear you, and it is a little outlandish. But one kind of thing that went off in my head when I was watching that guy pitch this year is not since Pedro have we had a guy that is must-see viewing on that bump.
Yep.
And really, like in my lifetime, there's been 3 Red Sox. This guy's the third. It was Clemens, Pedro, and now this kid.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous. And like, they won't score him any runs. Finally, thank God, they ground him out that one run yesterday in like the 7th or 8th to get him the victory. I mean, otherwise he would have went 12 Ks and no decision.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even in his first 2 starts, even though that was his first win, I mean, he was still throwing up crazy numbers. In his loss on Monday, he threw seven innings. Again, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks. The Red Sox only scored 1 run. So
here's a little nugget for you. So Chris Sale goes 13th overall in that 2010 draft. Pretty good one. Bryce Harper at the top. Manny Machado third. Guess who was 5th on that list? And the second pitcher taken in the draft. 5 overall. Chris Sale went 13. Drew Pomerantz. It was right there.
wow.
Right? So this is like a kid. We shouldn't be that surprised. He's just maybe kind of figuring out. He's still around 27, right? So this could be a steal, you know? I mean, I know we all loved Anderson Espinosa for what he was doing in single A and double A, but this guy could be coming into his own at the right time. A lefty, throws that sick hook. Oh.
And the knuckle curve.
I'm really going to need you this season to just temper my expectations now on Drew Pomeranz. All right? But Chris Sale, I mean, my expectations through the roof. I mean, it's so great to see this guy pitch. Filthy.
Yep. Oh. Well, I mean, yeah, he's good. It's just I wish we could get a little bit more run support on the days that he goes. It's like that same thing we were having last year with every time David Price was on the mound, he got no run support.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think that as guys get back, I mean, we had the flu bug, and we still don't really have a full unit together, you know, because now Bradley's out. Bradley hurt himself once the flu people got back and the bereavement people got back. And, you know, Xander, a guy still, I know he's up to like 380 now, whatever. He's really been hitting it after when he got back a couple games. But he had like 2 grounding into double plays today with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
And you just can't have that. I mean, you're going to be one of the best hitters in the game. I mean, that can't be a DP. You got to find a way to scratch across a run there, advance a run, or anything. But
But he is batting .375.
Yeah, I mean, averages this early in the season.
That's tough.
I'd rather you have the production in the low average, like the Panda Bear.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna
pick the spots.
You know, at least Xander's playing solid defense.
So we got Sale, who is clearly taking the lead dog role in the starting rotation. Couple other iffy starts this week. We had Porcello got knocked around. Like you already mentioned, Wright got knocked around, so we'll kind of leave that one. But Porcello got knocked around on Friday. 4 homers, including the grand slam to Logan Morrison. He had a rough outing. He didn't look great.
He was due a rough outing. I believe that
was.
breaks a streak of 15 or 14 straight
Yep.
quality starts he had.
And that was the longest active streak in the majors, so he was due.
So, hey, next time out there, start up a new one, Rick. You know, I still feel confident every time he takes the ball, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that, unlike when Sale's on that bump, they do want to score a shit ton of runs when Rick Porcello's up there. A lot of runs.
You know who else?
PG-13 program. It's all good.
That's right.
It's all good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit in flux, I would say. You know, we'll kind of see how that pans out, but I mean, I'm not hitting the panic button on Porcello by any means. I mean, that kind of stuff will happen. A little worried about Wright, you know, throwing up all those juicy balls, but
yeah. What's your feeling on Erod?
He looked okay, but again, it's the inconsistency. I think it's the same thing we were seeing last year, right? Yeah. It's like he shows the potential at times, but he just doesn't have
and
it all
the inefficiency. You know,
yeah.
The dude's like already, you know, nearing 100 pitches in the 4th inning. You know, it's like he's got to learn that, and you got probably the one left-hander in the entire game you want to take a look at as to how to you handle yourself on that mound. Chris Sale gets the ball and is waiting for the hitter to get in there. And, you know, Remy kind of went into this the other day on a telecast of, like, that's more intimidating. You know, he went back to, like, Josh Beckett and was saying how he used to throw the hitters off or the reason he took a long time was to, like, kind of throw the hitter's timing off and all that stuff. And, you know, Remdog made a great point of when he played, he's like, that was intimidating when I stepped in and the pitcher was ready to throw already. You know, I wasn't waiting on him.
Yeah.
So that's like the way to do it. I mean, if anybody's a young pitcher in this league, you got to look at Chris Sale and the way he does it because it is intimidating. It's like, okay, I'm ready to go. Why aren't you? I'm obviously more prepared for this pitch than you are. Try and hit it.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Yeah, it helps when he can throw 97 too.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll just throw it 89 on your shoe tops and have you swing over it and look like a fool.
Yeah.
So, and you know, what's ideal too about, you know, this situation with Sale and him signing, you know, in the perfect situation, not just because that's our team and that's what we're doing the program for, but, you know, that helps. But the fact that David Price kind of seems to relish taking on, like, the whole, you know, other stuff as opposed to, like, dealing with the media, all the stuff that goes around that isn't just pitching. It's kind of allows Sale to be that laser focused nut job that cut up the throwback jerseys last year. And it's like, boom, it's good to see. And like Porcello's a guy that he can probably take some of that weight off of old Chris Sale too, so he doesn't have to talk to me. I mean, Rick's from New Jersey, so he must be able to run his mouth a little bit. So between him and Price, they'll kind of take the heat off him. Sale can just concentrate on pitching.
That's right.
Watch me, Rod. Copy everything he does. Did we have somebody lighting us up on the old
Yeah, we have a
Bean?
special appearance by Hunter Marks from
Hey.
the Dodgers Wrap 360.
I know him from the Dodgers Wrap 360 show.
Nice.
So he's asking, how do you guys feel about Pablo Sandoval? Still batting below the Mendoza line, but still has 3 hours on the year. Can you expect for him to have a big year?
Obviously, we got a late come of the program because we talked about Panda not hitting but producing early.
But no, that's a good question though, because I think that some people have been saying, look, I expect Pablo to really break out this year, and I think he's going to be above 280 and yada, yada, yada. I don't really buy into that yet. Right. I think that he's going to be solid this year, but I'm tempering my expectations. I'm not going to be unrealistic for, expecting that he's going to be some monster coming out. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think this guy needs a makeover as the hitter, and it's kind of shocking to me that he was brought into this team because he's such a free swinger. He swings at so many bad balls. It's like, oh, yeah, he's got ridiculous plate coverage and you can hit it it's off the plate. Yeah, that's all well and good, but I mean, hang on to that when you got 2 strikes, but don't go up there for like free swinging when it's 2-0 and they're throwing you garbage. And like they won't even start him with a strike because they know he's such a hacker, And it's just this guy could be a 300 hitter in the league. I'm convinced of it. If he just got a little bit more selective and started swinging at strikes over balls, And there's plenty of guys in that Red Sox clubhouse that teach him how to do that. Bring back David Ortiz. He can teach him how to do it.
I will give him props, though, because he has been hustling down the line. He's a lot quicker than you would think. He's a lot quicker than you would think.
I have noticed that.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely going about it the right way. He lost the weight, probably begrudgingly, and he's just
cut the Twinkies out of the diet.
That's it. And I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, I was thinking if we get this guy to an on-base percentage of 350 this year, that's not going to happen because he would have to hit 340 in order to get his on-base percentage to be 350. I forgot what the free swinging this guy is, but if we can get him to OBP of like 300, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
So we got some other people lighting us up, Laura. Wow.
Yeah, we have our regular Star Drew.
Oh, Star Drew.
Welcome back, buddy.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but his team is the Blue Jays. So he's asking, what do you guys think about next week? Or are you guys ready for the Blue Jays?
I'm a little scared of the Blue Jays right now because they're kind of like that wounded dog, right? And they have a bunch of bad things happen to him. Aaron Sanchez just got put on the DL for them on Sunday, and they have somebody else who's banged up on that team, Donaldson, who is on the DL. So it may look on paper like we're getting these guys at the right time, but like I say, they could be sleeping on us. We got pitching matchups in that one.
Yeah.
We have Erod versus Stroman. And Stroman's been doing good this year, and he had kind of a down year last year, but he's coming back. He's a beast. That kid's really good. Porcello, Liriano, seemed to really like getting back with Russell Martin, but we'll see how that goes. And then Sale goes in the third game of that. You have no shot in that one, Star Drew.
Well, the other thing is that it's in Toronto, and it's like such a hard place to play. I mean, Canadians are nice, and then you get into the Rogers Center, and it's like a whole different story. It's brutal. I mean, you saw it. They're chucking beers with the players and stuff.
Whoa.
It's crazy.
That's like Philadelphia. It's insane.
Yeah.
Oh. Thanks for the shout-out, Star. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for listening in. Blue Jays fans. We got Blue Jays fans, trolling us on this.
There you go.
It'd be nice to get some Red Sox fans in the mix here. We got Dodger fans calling up. We got Blue Jays fans calling up. How about some Red Sox? Hey, Mo! So we just talked about it. the road trip, kicking off with 3 once we get the Patriots Day game in the morning. The only AM start in all of baseball. That's because, in other places they're probably like, yeah, you don't want the drunks to get drunk too early, so we can't have an AM start time. In Boston, they're like, they can handle it. They can handle it. It's Patriots Day.
That's right.
There'll be enough cops out there that they'll make sure nobody gets hit by a car or anything as they go from the cask and flagon into their seat,
That's right.
and stumbling and bumbling at 10:45 a.m.
Across the newly named David Ortiz Bridge.
Oof, that's right.
I don't know if that's the real name, but they named it after him. I don't know what the full name is.
Scalper's Bridge is now the Puppy Bridge. Interesting. So it's going to be interesting. Stephen Wright tomorrow. We'll have to. Well, it's a bounce back game for him, but I'm not too worried because like we say, that knuckleball, that can come. And you want the weather to get warmer for the knuckleballer too. So much like with the hitters warm up with the weather. The knuckleball does too. So
there you go.
I have not thrown in the towel on young Steven just yet.
No, definitely not. I mean, and he also had a couple games at the end of the year where he wasn't able to play, so maybe he's just kind of dusting it off a little bit too. He looked really solid during spring training though, so that's okay.
Another guy who looked solid during spring training that I love on this team, Marco Hernandez, man.
Yep.
This guy, he fields it. He hits. He's got a little pop. The kid's put together. This kid deserves to be on the team. When Josh Rutledge gets healthy again, give him his walking papers and give this kid a shot at being like the utility guy on this team. Between him and Brock Holt, those are like the only 2 utility guys we'll need. They'll be able to cover all positions. You could be in a situation where you could cover 3 catches. You could carry 3 catches in that instance.
Absolutely.
But carrying 3 catches is kind of like carrying 3 quarterbacks. You just can't give up the roster spot.
Yep.
That's why you're getting traded, Jimmy J.
Oh.
Anyways, sorry.
So
way off course.
So we got Mookie back this week.
And he's scorching at 3 hits today, right?
He is. He doesn't have any homers yet. So, and that's been kind of a theme of the Red Sox so far this year. Before today's game, 10 players in the major leagues with as many home runs as the entire Red Sox squad. 4.
Wow.
I think now we have 5 because Sandy hit one out.
Sandy didn't go deep today.
Pablo,
Yeah.
sorry.
He's Pandy.
Pandy.
You're going to call him Pandy and Sandy? Are they going to be
that's not going to work,
no,
is it? No.
It's a Panda. But, yeah, you're right. So, I'm not worried about that. Like I say, the hitters warm up with the weather, and the home runs will be there. Mookie's going to be in the mid to late 20s. Maybe hit 30 again. I think he's going to be 30-30 guy. I think Xander could get 20-20 this year. He's going to be running a lot in that 6th spot in the lineup. So,
but is Mookie Betts the fastest guy on the team?
That was an interesting one, and that was an interesting play. And obviously, it's going to coax the question. Is he faster? According to Benintendi, he says he is.
Mookie says that Benintendi's faster.
Really? Mookie says it too?
Mookie tweeted out that Benny is faster.
Wow.
And look at the replay. He pulled away from him.
Yeah.
So
that was as Rem Dog said afterwards, kind of a tough base running play because if he was halfway.
Well, Benny messed up on that.
Benny messed up.
Yeah.
He went back to tag. He should have been halfway.
Yep.
And then Mookie would have scored. Anyways, Xander comes in, hits that great outside pitch after that, boom, to get Hanley in anyways, to get the go-ahead run in that instance. So that was great. And, so early on, without any home runs, but like we said before, this team is like keeping the line moving, and that was kind of the mantra, of this team the past few years. And that's what they're doing. It's like, trust the guy that's on deck, have a good at-bat. And that's why it's like Panda, it's like you have a bunch of guys in there that have professional at-bats, and then he gets up there and swings on his shoe tops at, a 1-0 pitch. It's somewhat disheartening. The lovely Laura, do we have somebody chiming in?
We have Ben Hannison asking, why do we need Josh Rutledge?
Oh, yeah, we just talked about that.
Exactly. Thank you, Ben Hannah Cocktoastin. Haniston. Yeah, absolutely. I hear you. Because Josh Rutledge is not a good not as good a defender as Marco Hernandez, and we're seeing that Marco Hernandez can hit the ball a little bit. I see no reason this guy's not going to be a 270, 275 hitter, plays excellent defense anytime he's called upon for this team. Like, I hope he sticks. I hope he sticks. We shall see. Thank you for the shout-out, Ben. Appreciate it, brother.
Yep. So some minor league scouting that I've been doing in my free time.
This is going to be the Sam Travis watch right here. I can tell you that.
I actually don't think I have
Are you
any.
in the house?
I don't have any Sam Travis news today.
Oof.
I got Travis Lakins. He's making good progress from that right elbow stress fracture. He had 2 outings in Greenville A-ball, .79 ERA, 17 Ks, 1 walk. Dude's looking pretty sharp, so I think that's a guy that we have our eye on as a possible pitching prospect, hopefully making his way up.
Nice.
Up the minor leagues. I don't know if he'll make it up to the big show this year, but
Tell me the guy's name again. Sorry, I was looking
Travis
at the computer.
Lakins.
Travis Lakins.
Yes. We also have Josh Okamai. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. High A Salem in a 4-game span, 462, 11 for 18.
Tell me about some sexy guys I want to hear about. How was Mr. Groom doing in the early going? Got anything on
Groom.
him?
Oh yeah. So earlier in the week, I think maybe it was Sunday of this past week, not today.
Yeah.
He left a single A Greenville start with a lat injury.
Oof.
So I think that was pretty early on in the game. So I think they kind of took him out preventative. Doesn't sound like it's going to be anything serious, but again, it's not something that we want to see from Jason Groom.
Gotcha.
But on that regards, in talking injuries and stuff, we talked about JBJ a little bit. He kind of hit the 10-day DL. I think he was like sporting some kind of a brace on his knee. But sounds like he is gearing up for a AAA start. Is it today or tomorrow? And then I think that they're eyeing is that by Friday of this coming week he'll join the squad for the game against Baltimore.
Gotcha. Nice. Yeah. So that'll be good. That'll be just 10 days. That 10 days coming handy instead of a 15-day. Also, David Price this week, he threw 2 bullpens. So he's moving in the right direction, but we shouldn't expect him until, probably looking like the end of May now, I would say at the earliest. So we'll try and put him out of mind until the Ides of May. But looking up, coming this week, we got the series finale at the Fens. Like we said, tomorrow, Patriots Day, Tampa. Hopefully we can get that one. Put the finishing touches on a series win there. Then 2 Toronto for 3, and then 2 Baltimore 3. So this is like a big stretch here. In the early going, you're playing these AL East teams 3 straight in a row, and then the Yankees, so 4 straight in a row after that. So this is going to be a big stretch of schedule here in the early going.
Well, and it's good that we got, pretty much everybody's going to be back and healthy by the end of this week. Apparently they fumigated Fenway a number of times on this past road trip. I think that the flu is like officially past us at this point, right? Yeah. So, so hopefully we'll be okay for the stretch.
Yeah. Full week, 7 games in 7 days. Hopefully we'll a lot of them on the road, 6 on the road. So if we can come back with another 4-3 week, I think we're still kind of heading in that right direction, This is a team that, once it gets healthy and gets rolling, you just can't have big lulls. You just got to stay above 500, keep going. Because as you know, I don't look at the standings till August 1st. So you just want your team playing good baseball. And that's all we can hope for in pitching. And I'm real excited about the staff. I know we had some up and downs. Porcello's going to be fine. But I'm really excited about this bullpen this week. So, you want to say anything else before we?
Well, I was just going to ask you. We have a couple minutes here.
Sure.
When you used to live or visit Boston nowadays, do you ever end up in Pawtucket and going to see the Paw Sox play?
I have been to 1 game at McCoy Stadium.
Okay.
It's great. It's a great take-in. You can actually, stretch your dollar down there, see a baseball game.
That's a fact.
You get fantastic seats for like $7 or $8. And this was going back in the 90s, but
yeah. I mean, I used to go there more because I lived in Attleboro, so we were that was closer than Boston for us.
Wasn't there all a big hullabaloo a couple of years ago about them wanting to move the team to Providence? That has seemed to die down.
Well,
did they put the kibosh on that?
They just announced that they are going to do a park renovation. So right now they are deciding if they want to spend, I think it was $60 million to renovate the existing park or $70 million to start over.
Wow. And in Pawtucket, though,
It's
they
gonna
would
be
build a new one in Pawtucket?
It's going to be a replica of Fenway.
Wow.
Yep.
As it should be.
With the monster and everything. Exact dimensions of Fenway.
You know, I mean, these kids are practicing to get to the bigs. Why shouldn't it be, you know?
Yep.
And, you know, that's why they made the spring training home have a monster and what have you.
So hopefully that doesn't drive up the ticket prices too much. Because I mean, it was a really nice place to go. You very often could go see the Boston Red Sox as they made their rehab starts, and a lot of the young guys are of course going through AAA. They're kind of right on the footsteps of making to the big league. So it was such a nice thing. I hope that they kind of consider that as they price out those tickets.
Yeah, we're kind of spoiled in Boston with, you know, the amount of baseball. We go to a great park like Fenway. You know, McCoy's a short trip, 45 minutes down from Boston. And you know, even like the Cape, in the Cape League in the summer, you're seeing the best of the best from the college ranks. You can go down there and see free games. It's awesome.
Yep.
All right, Ben.
Well, last thing I wanted to, two more things.
Oh,
Happy
boy.
birthday to Jason Varitek. I think his 45th earlier this week.
Nice.
And, of course, we're going to be sending out our condolences to Isaiah Thomas and his family for the terrible thing that happened to his sister.
Yes.
Rough game today, but, you know, we know that the Celtics are going to bounce back after that for sure.
Absolutely. Rest in peace, China. Lost you too soon. All right. Well, thank you, Red Sox Nation. For Ben Fay, I'm Mike Conley. This has been another edition of Red Sox Wrap 360. Thanks for tuning in, gang. Go Sox.
Happy Easter.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.